often walk alone. Who do they turn to for answers? Being male is a matter of birth, but being a man is a matter of choice. This is the dawn of something phenomenal. Fathers, sons, brothers, from the daily grind to the battles within. This is where real stories are told. A place where the silent struggles are given a voice, where the unspoken truths are laid bare. No holds barred. Brace yourself. This is Men on Record. It's more than just talk. It's a man thing.
Good evening and welcome. The 24th day of April 2026. A beautiful, beautiful evening that we get to meet yet again right here on Hope Media. We are live on Hope FM, Hope TV, and across all our social media platforms. If it's Friday, 7 p.m., you know the drill by now. This is now Men on Record, and we are here to discuss anything and everything that is touching on men as we unpack real-life conversations that are affecting men in these times that we are living in, the ever-changing times that we are living in. And so from wherever you are tuned in from, karibu sana, and it is always a joy to have you join us. And so please tell a man to tell a man to tell another man that it is time for Men on Record. And of course, being the last Friday of the month, we are thanking God for his goodness and his faithfulness. Indeed, we can say and declare that he has been Ebenezer over our lives. What a topic we have in store for us this evening, a topic that is so crucial in the times that we are living in, because tonight we are talking about conflict and how to resolve the same in marriages. And so please tell that person that you feel they need to be tuned in to ensure that they are tuning in, whichever platform they want to choose, so long as they are tuning in. That is all that matters. And so karibuni sana to the show. And my name is George Kishoro, and I'm not alone in studio. I have my co-host, a friend as well, and also a gentleman who has been I don't know the right term to use, but
it's complex.
It's complex. Timu yake inachapwa right, left and center mpaka yesterday they decided
let me tell
enough is enough.
Bro, let me tell you something. It's been less noisy this week. It's been less noisy.
We have normalized.
Your other brothers went under the table.
So that's the main thing.
A win is a win. And then
I hear you.
The one on top
yes.
is at least blue. So
it's a shade of blue. We can see also they are closer brothers.
Absolutely.
As well. Good to see you, bro.
A pleasure. I mean, how's been the week, man?
Fantastic. Blessed of the Lord.
Amen.
And we are here Friday.
Absolutely.
So that means that he has been faithful. He has fought our battles.
Yes.
He has carried us through.
And of
that's
course,
why we are able to see this last day of the week.
Very true. And of course, we just maybe nearing the end of the month.
Oh, yes.
And children going back to school very soon.
Yes,
and
yes.
so parents here and there trying to figure out things.
Running helter-skelter.
To make sure that...
now, mentioning schools, where my children go to school,
yes.
they sent in a text message in the afternoon.
Yes.
Saying that they were adjusting the transport costs upwards.
Because of fuel.
Because of fuel. So I was wondering also, surely, my salary hasn't been adjusted upwards because of fuel.
You know, your boss is watching.
Sorry, moving on simply. You aware? I still have my job. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you, man.
What a show we have in store for everyone tuned in.
Yes,
because very important.
This is pertinent and in the right timing.
Oh, yes.
I believe God orchestrated everything that we have this conversation at such a time as this.
Yes.
So that glory can go back to Him.
Definitely.
That as we minister to people out here, all the glory, all the honor goes back to the Father. Because God wants us to go back to the original blueprint of family, of marriage.
I love that.
Original, not what we've, somebody was saying that there is the standard we put in our lives or in our families or in whatever space based on our experiences. But there is the standard God wants it to be.
Yes.
That is not pegged on what I go through. not what my family, my marriage goes through, but on the standard of God, the blueprint.
And that will never change.
Yes.
Amen.
Karibu sana.
Thank you, man.
So, how do we engage with this man?
You can reach out to us on 0717 400 555. That is on WhatsApp. And of course, 0708 222 323 on WhatsApp as well. 20933 on SMS. And of course, at Hope FM Live, at Hope TV Kenya, at Favored Frank, at George Gishuru, across all social media platforms. Please share this link with a man out there. Could be a brother, could be a husband, could be a father, could be, that friend
son.
of yours. Yeah, son.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, share this link with as many people. To me, I want to message you, tune in.
Yeah.
This one is for every man.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Karibu sana. And it's a pleasure to have you join us this evening. And as we are talking about resolving conflict in marriage, we are not alone in studio. We have also invited another man who is very passionate about marriages as well. And also he's married, and he ensures, and his desire is to see as many men, in stable marriages, thriving in those marriages. And so we have our friend, also a friend of Hope Media as well. Yes. This is Mr. amesema tumuite tu ndugu. James Ogolla.
Ndugu. Ndugu, karibu sana.
Asante ndugu, nashukuru.
Yes, it's good to have you join us, sir, this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
finding time to join us. And I was telling you off air, I love your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, asante sana.
I love your
This
shirt.
was a gift from my wife.
She has good taste.
It's popping out nicely on the camera.
I can imagine. Those who are enjoying.
So, I wish I could send her the link so that she can see
For herself.
and hear the accolades.
The accolades. She picked the right one.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. A brief introduction before even we start off our conversation. Who we have on our set this evening?
Usually I struggle with that question.
Yes.
Because when we talk about an introduction of who are you, I think people run to their names.
Yes.
But maybe that's not very accurate. I think I would just call myself as a son of God.
Okay.
Yeah. And yet you will tell me, I didn't ask you whose son you are. But I'm the son of God.
Yeah.
I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a Christian. I'm born again. I love Jesus Christ as my Lord and my Savior.
Amen.
And he's been my friend for a number of years. And I just want to thank him for his grace. Yeah, so that's who I am. And I come from a large family. I was born and raised in a place called Budalangi.
Okay.
And grown up there and did many things there. Then I came to Nairobi to look for work.
Yeah. Okay. And you found work.
And I found work. Yeah. But in a nutshell, yes, I'm a born-again Christian.
Amen.
I love Jesus Christ.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that would suffice as to
Indeed.
introduce who I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
even
if
for
in case you've got
finding
any
time.
questions, please ask.
I think we can go with that for
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for finding time to join us
Thank you.
as we discuss this very important conversation. And because marriage brings together two individuals with different perspectives, different experiences, and different expectations. And while love is the foundation of that union, conflict is often unavoidable. The question is not whether conflict will come. That is not actually the question, but how it is handled. And tonight, we are here to explore how men can navigate disagreements in a way that strengthens rather than breaks their marriages. And so, let's start off with how do conflicts, first of all, conflicts in marriages.
Yes.
How do they come about? If I may ask that question. And the good thing is that all of us here, I see
Yes.
rings. And so all of us have
Can I answer this question?
so we can have different perspectives on the same question.
Yeah.
George, you're talking about that, and I'm just thinking of what you've already said.
Yes.
That we come to marriage, we are from different places. We have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Upbringing is different.
Yeah.
We have different personalities. And, I think just from that already, and then, of course, it's a man and a woman. Gender is different.
Yeah.
So already,
Yes.
there is the tendency is there that we should, there will be a conflict.
Yes.
There are many, avenues for conflict. But then, like you've rightly said,
Yeah.
the issue is not whether conflict will come.
It's not if.
It's not if.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a perspective there where we are saying that conflict is going to come.
Yes.
But again, we need to step back and ask ourselves what conflict is. Because defining conflict would help us to understand then where that is coming from.
Yes.
So, for example, if I'm defining conflict as a difference in opinion, right?
Yes.
Just a simple difference in opinion, that's a conflict. And it's not a disagreement.
No.
It's just a difference in opinion. Right? So that you can say is coming from just my understanding of things and probably my wife's understanding of things. Secondly, it could also be defined as opposing views over an important matter.
Yes.
So, for example, we want to consider an investment, and I'm feeling like, no, these are good investments. She feels this is not a good.
Best.
Yeah. And so again, we get into a conflict. That is now another different kind of conflict because we are not agreed on our perspective of what a good investment should be. So that's now another different kind of definition for conflict. In other words, now strongly held views over a matter from one person to the other.
Yes.
And that is, again, another conflict. The other definition that I would give to conflict, again, is just simply that my understanding of things is different from the way my wife understands things. So just that understanding that I understand things differently. I understand this cup to be white.
Yes.
And she understands this cup to be full.
Yeah.
So again, that is just a matter of again how we understand things. So based on our understanding of what conflict is and the different definitions of conflict, then we can be able to ask ourselves that question of what causes conflict. So then we go back into the issue of we basically come from different backgrounds. So the background that I come from has fed me a lot of things. My childhood probably lived in a place called Budalangi. Has probably fed me with how life should be looked at. So my worldview has been shaped by where I lived and where I grew up. Beyond the general area, then there is just the home.
Yes.
How I've grown up in our home.
Yeah.
So how I've been brought up in our home is probably completely different from the way my wife has been brought up where she came from. Right? Yes. So if she comes from a very strong Christian background and I come from a background that is probably godless, and then we're coming together again. So those backgrounds that we come from also have got a strong influence on how we treat issues, and therefore conflict can arise just simply because of our home background. Then there's the other aspect of conflicting because of just our own fears, our own internal fears.
Yes.
I've got fears inside me which are different from the fears that she has.
Yes.
And just because of that, the way I handle things is completely different from the way she handles things against that conflict.
Yes.
Then there is the issue of personalities and temperaments.
Yes.
So if somebody is a sanguine, for example, and another is a choleric, and the way they look at life and the way they do things just causes there to be tension because this one looks at matters this way and another looks at matters another way.
Yes.
And let me finally give another one. Just ease of comfort. For example, you go to a place with your wife and you are the kind of man who likes to stand when you're talking.
Yes.
But her, she's the kind of person who likes to sit when she talks. So you are standing and she's sitting and you say, "Susimame." No, but I'm comfortable this way. And just those kind of things. So those conflicts come simply because of our backgrounds, our psychological disposition, our socialization, and probably even our faith. So those are some sources of conflict.
I hear you. I'm trying now to see these two people in as far as how then do we close this gap so that now this worldview that I had and the worldview that my wife had, we can now be able to marry the two and now come up with one where now we sort of are not in conflict. And the reason I'm saying this is because, again, we don't want a situation whereby of course, at some point, especially because we are talking to men and at times we stamp
authority.
Yes. Yeah. Mimi ni mwanaume.
With finality.
Yeah, na finality. You see.
Yeah.
So how do we ensure then that we are reading from the same script?
How I look at it myself is we do not necessarily always have to read from the same script. Yes. Because her script is adding some value, and my script is adding another value. Okay, in a different way.
So the difference is the strength.
The difference is the strength. So that then you are capitalizing on the strength rather than looking at the differences.
The difference.
Yeah. So I think that's an important perspective.
Yeah. Yes.
Second one is who said conflict is bad? Conflict can be healthy. So the way that you look at things and the way that she looks at things, or even the way you have had a tiff, can in itself help you to grow and to mature. So you do not have to be the same or to be operating from the same level for you to have a healthy relationship. It is how you understand how she functions and how she understands how you function that you bring together to elevate each other, to ensure that everyone is operating normally and with ease wherever they are, for as long as they are not sinning.
I love that because I have, should I say, I've never seen it from that end in terms of that conflict is actually healthy for a relationship, because it means then that you are coming together to bring your strengths and not necessarily looking at the weakness. There is a danger in terms of then how do I cede my ground? And I want us to speak to us men that it should be a strength, not a weakness. For me at times to see that actually she's bringing her point is actually stronger than my point. And actually, if we were to implement it, it will actually go a very long way, you know, in us achieving whatever we were purposing to achieve.
I think it's just the issue of how you have grown up and how you've been raised, the values that you believe as a man. If you believe that the man is the final voice always, and you've got that thing that we call a big ego, then you will not listen to good reasoning, even if it's better reasoning than yours. Secondly, if you do not have humility in you as a man, right? Then that if you're lacking that humility, then you'll not even understand what she's saying, right? And I can give you a story of an ego trip that I had of some time back of a man who was driving to some dinner with his wife, invited by some friends. And as they are driving, they get to a place where he's taking he continues straight, but the wife is saying, but this is the turning that you're supposed to go to this home. And the man says, I know the way. And they continued, and the lady very calmly just kept quiet because she did not want to cause struggles. They get to some point and says, are we all right on the right track? And the man says, but I said I know the way.
I know the way.
And they went to a place where now the man is trying to coil back to come back to say, I'm sorry, I did not listen to you. But they have wasted fuel, they have wasted time, they have wasted emotions, and the man inside is boiling. Simply because he was not humble enough to listen to the perspective of the wife in terms of saying this. Because the ego in him was saying, mwanamke hazi kuambia kitu. Right? And just giving my own example, in our home, when we talk about issues, finances, my wife is a better finance person than I am. Okay, so should I insist that I must be the one to make all the financial decisions? No. Must it be my way that must always win? No. If she's stronger in that area, then I must cede ground and say, sweet, what do you think about this this matter? And she says this and that and that and that, and I say, okay, I can now at that point bring in my perspective and ask questions, okay, which help us to clarify the position both for her and for me. So what I'm basically saying is bring yourself to a place of conversation and understanding rather than stamping a position.
All right. You're talking about that, and I'm just thinking of these a majority of men. They the conflict will arise where they are trying to change their their wives. I want my wife to be this way. I want her to reason in this manner. I want her to do things the way I want. So I'm trying to change her, not understanding that it's a personality issue or even the upbringing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to appreciate the difference in looking at it in terms of strength to the point that I want to change how she is so that we can align. Talk about such a man who would want to change their partner.
That's a boon for failure. It's a boon for failure straight away because, first of all, you're not appreciating what God has given you.
Yes.
Now, when you're not appreciating what God has given you, do you think that God is happy with you? No. So do you think that God is going to bless you when you do not appreciate what He has given you? No. So number one, that's a boon for failure.
Yes.
Secondly, you are actually destroying her.
Okay.
Because God has created in a certain way in which she should function. Now, if you are insisting that she changes to fit you, then she has to alter a lot of things and she is going to lose her identity.
Maybe fake a number
to please
of
you.
Yeah,
to please you, but losing her identity.
Yes.
Now, when a woman loses her identity, then she'll not even be functional for you. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you will be the ultimate loser because then she's not going to respond to you naturally and in a real way because you have already destroyed the identity in her.
All right.
Thirdly, you have not even listened to the wisdom that she is bringing on the table. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not even respecting probably the professional knowledge that she's likely to bring on the table.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you are also just destroying yourself because you're setting expectations that are not going to be met.
Yeah.
Because you'll not succeed.
Yes.
Because that woman is not going to change.
Yeah. You cannot
because
change her.
What's inherent in her, what's inherent in her is not going to change.
Yeah.
And therefore, you yourself are going to continue to be frustrated simply because you have not appreciated that she is not going to change.
Appreciating the difference.
Appreciating the difference and celebrating.
Yeah.
Celebrating the difference. Yeah.
Okay, we have now men, because they've not succeeded in changing this woman. Talk to this man who then resorts to silence because they feel sasa mimi sisikizwi.
Yeah.
Because
Kwa nini sasa hata niongee?
Sasa ona.
Yeah.
Well, that man needs help.
Yeah.
The first help that man needs is not to listen to their inner feeling of loss. Because what for him to get to that position, then he's feeling like, I have lost the battle.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, he needs to be given counsel to appreciate that he has not lost the battle. Right?
Okay.
What he needs is to change his perspective. Can be able to receive the help. And that's a man ready for counseling.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a man who is mature for counseling if he chooses to go for counseling. However, many men again will say, counseling ni nini.
Yes.
Right? They'll reject counseling.
As a man, why
Now,
do you need counsel?
Yes, I know all things. I'm a man.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, what happens is that that kind of man, keeping silent and keeping quiet, then he has lost his leadership.
Okay.
Right? He has lost leadership of the home.
Yeah.
He has lost leadership even of himself.
Yes.
Yeah. And when he has lost his leadership, then he has basically degenerated into an item in the house rather than to be the man who's providing leadership in that environment.
Yes.
So that man is needs a lot of help.
Okay.
And the kind of help he needs is an internal renewal. To rebuild his understanding of himself, self-identity.
Yes.
First of all, he needs to be helped to understand himself, being self-aware. Then he needs to have the awareness of his environment.
Yes.
All right? And part of the environment is understanding that there are people who have got a different perspective than him, particularly the wife.
Yeah.
Then thirdly, he needs the kind of help where he needs to seek to be guided on how to appreciate other people. And then fourthly, he is a person who needs the kind of help where he is assisted to understand that even that lady is God's creation.
Yes.
And God has got a mission for her.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you are trying to stamp your authority and then you become silent, you basically have created an environment of hostility.
And there's somebody say that if Adam wants to talk to Eve, the snake will.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you do not give her the attention,
Yes.
then she will listen to other people more. And when the respect lines are lost. So it is very, very dangerous for a man to do that because you're killing yourself, you're killing your home, you're killing your environment. You're actually probably being a liability to society.
Yeah. Listening to you, I feel you're saying that also we should, as especially being the head of the family, create a conducive environment, even for this woman who is your helper actually, to express herself and to know that she is safe. Whatever I say, I know I'm safe. I know that yes, it may not carry the day, whatever I'm saying, but I know he will listen to me. We will interrogate whatever I am saying in a nice way, in a comfortable way, and despite whatever will be the outcome, at least
My views
was
expressed.
were expressed,
Yeah.
and at
Heard,
least we had, and they were heard, you know. But now the challenge which comes in, and now speaking for some of the men out there who usually say, if I allow her, you know, to give her opinion, and I know by the way she has a point, and it's valid, and actually if we are to implement it, ataona amefika huyu,
Atamea
so
kichwa.
atamea pembe, and so she will see as if now my home will be dictated by other people. You know, those are the fears certain men have.
That's an insecurity.
Okay.
And a man who's insecure is dangerous. Because if he feels that he's not the one in control, or he feels like he's not being appreciated, and that the woman is the one who's determining what is happening, what is likely to do is to avoid the home. Okay? He'll start looking for other places for people to listen to him.
To vent out.
To vent out, but also to feel like, here I'm honored. Because there's an inherent need in the man to feel respected. But he's the one who has removed that respect line by himself. So he actually needs a lot of help because the premise of his operation is weak. Okay? Because he's feeling like the woman is the one who's in charge. But let me swing this argument around. How about if he saw that the woman is part of him? So that if the idea is coming from the woman, it's actually coming from him.
We are one.
Because they are one.
They are one.
Yeah. So
Not two different people.
no,
We should not have that
exactly.
mindset.
Yeah. So the ideas that are coming from her are actually his, and that is why God put them together. The two became one. Right? Now, and when you love yourself, you cannot be the one again cutting yourself and saying, ideas is okay. No, those ideas are yours. God has given you those ideas through your very own person, who is you. So one should not feel threatened or feel insecure because the wife is bringing ideas or has got a view of things, simply for the reason that those are blessings that God has delivered. The same way that he can use this hand to deliver a blessing, he can also use this eye to deliver another blessing. And so the wife is another blessing that God is using to deliver that blessing to him. So he should not feel insecure.
All right. So,
rather, he should appreciate that this is a blessing from God.
great. If I take you back to the silence bit,
Yes.
there is a man who will postpone. A conflict has risen in marriage, and he wants to overlook it, maybe in Ndogo. Angoje ingine it comes. So there is a pile-up of conflicts, unresolved, unchecked. So talk to such a man, because I know over time it snowballs into something even bigger that is gonna endanger the marriage. And I know we want to take a very short break because
because of time. And I think because this one I think is huge, because I think I've also been there before. You know, early days of our marriages, early years. This one kitu kidogo tu. So we don't resolve, we sweep it under the carpet, and you see again it boils, and we add more under that carpet.
So the sack is full.
The sack, gunia imejaa.
You can't carry.
Hata when we are removing, now we are pouring, we don't even know where do we start. I think this one is also huge in as far as resolving conflict in marriage is concerned. And we, this is our guest this evening, Mr. Ogolla, will be answering that question once we are back from this very short break. But remember, you can be part of this conversation across all our social media platforms. We are live, Hope FM Live, Hope TV Kenya. And also you can get us on 0717 400 555, 0708 222 323. You can drop us a message on our WhatsApp number. You can utilize the comment section, and of course we will be glad to answer and also clarify any question you could be having. This is Men on Record, a short break, and then we come back, pick up that conversation. See you in a short while.
Next week on Hope Devotion.
Do as I say and not as I do, to a place of saying, follow me as I follow Christ.
Join Pastor John Wahome Mwai as he shares the Word of God on the topic, My Life, My Epistle.
I now understand Paul's advice because he calls us to shift from depending on ourselves, all on our abilities, to trusting the omnipotent God. No one gets a reward for doing nothing.
Start your day with hope every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and repeat from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Hope TV, look and live.
As the first light of dawn breaks, a new beginning is born.
Join us every morning, Monday to Friday, for a refreshing time of devotion, inspiration, and insights.
Stay updated with what's making headlines and also journey with us as we have life-changing conversations from the financial fitness segment,
One day at a time,
the Christian walk,
relationship resonance,
and something special for you every Friday. That's the Beyond the Melody segment.
Join me, Beatrice Nudi,
And me, George Gishoro, for enriching, educative, and life-changing conversations that will kickstart your day.
Hope at Dawn, only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Join Blessed Nemo and the team this Sunday for a moment of worship on Ultimate Worship. From 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and repeat from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hope TV, look and live.
Next week on
And welcome back. This is a Men on Record right here at Hope Media, Hope TV, Hope FM, and across all our social media platforms. And tonight we are talking about resolving conflict in marriage. And yes, keep those comments coming, keep those questions coming as well. But I think it's only fair if we allow Mr. Ogolla to answer the question.
Yes, it was key.
Which is big.
Yeah.
That's a big one
Yes.
in marriage. Sweeping things under the carpet.
And allowing things to simmer.
Yes.
And with the thought that in Ndogo.
Ndogo. Yeah. It's
All
a
right.
small issue.
So let me first of all touch on the danger of that, and then I probably can discuss a way in which we can be able to handle those things.
Yes.
Number one, the danger of keeping those things and looking at them as small issues is that there is no issue, there is no matter that you can never consider small in a marriage.
Yeah.
No matter is small.
Yes.
In fact, the moment that you start feeling like a matter is small, you are on icy
it's
ground.
not the biggest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so you keep that small in your own mind, a small thing, and you put it in a pressure cooker. I'm sure you guys saw pressure cookers when you're growing up.
Yes. Yes.
So now it gets into the pressure cooker, and you keep piling them, and the heat increases, right?
Yeah.
And there's no vent, okay, to allow the pressure to come out. What happens? It blows, it explodes, it can burn the house. Right?
Yeah.
It can burn the house completely, raise the house to the ground, probably kill people inside the house because you assumed that it is just a small thing. So now it is one small thing, then you add on another one, then another one. So it becomes a huge thing.
Yes.
Now, the danger again about that is it will take a long time to resolve those issues.
Yeah.
Because you probably could have resolved this matter in 1 month.
Yes.
But you've added on another one, another one. So by the time that you're starting to resolve those things, the pressure is so heavy, the losses are very high, and the pain is very palpable in the relationship. Now, the danger is that, first of all, it's going to be very difficult to resolve that matter because you are solving a complex web of things.
Yes.
Because your spouse's mind, particularly the female mind, it does not think linearly like we do as men. It weaves issues and brings emotions on them.
And you can even be surprised as tunaongelea gani.
Exactly.
Ya juzi or for the one that will come tomorrow.
Yes. So it becomes extremely complex. You don't know what to deal with, and you don't know how to deal with this. Because in trying to solve this one in this way, you're probably introducing another problem.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because of the way things are interconnected. So you are actually creating a difficult area for you to navigate, and it can actually lead to very serious issues.
Yes.
That secondly, there is what it causes called resentment, right? Okay. So she resents you, and then of course now you also start resenting her, and you start growing apart.
Yes.
When you start growing apart, then you start growing cold. And when you start growing cold, then you start finding warmth elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay? You can find your warmth in work. You can find your warmth in food.
Yes.
And then you leave the
now,
blessing
online.
Football.
Right, football.
Out.
Yeah?
Yes.
You find yourself always being the one who knows who has scored which goal. You know, and who brought the hat trick. You know, those kind of things. And yet you're forgetting the functioning of your life as a married man and as a father and as a husband in a home. So those are very complex things that you're trying to introduce to your life because you are ignoring important issues which you're considering minor. So in terms of resolving that, I think it's always important to know that there is no small matter and that no matter should be postponed in resolving.
Yes.
So two things, recognizing that it's an issue that needs attention, and two, that it needs attention now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then three, that you may not have all the resources to resolve that issue. You actually need your partner to discuss with you. Right? So the solution is then recognizing that you as a couple have got the solution to that problem. Right? And when you recognize that you as a couple have got the solution to that problem, then you resolve that problem and move on and build peace, right? And not only build peace, but transform your lives to deal with that matter totally and fully, so that then it stops being an underlying matter. Because most of the challenges that marriages go through are underlying issues.
That's true.
Right? True. Underlying issues. So you're seeing things pop up and you start dealing with the things that are popping up here. But you're forgetting
major things
down here. So that then means that as you deal with those issues, they stop being underlying issues. They actually become issues that you've resolved.
Somebody said there are some small fires in the house you can put out using sand. There is another one, you need a fire extinguisher on the wall just in case of anything. There's another one, you'll need a firefighter when the whole house
is
you need firefighters. So
and sometimes 2-3 firefighting vehicles.
So it's better to use the sand when it's still a small fire.
I'm listening to you and all that we are discussing. And then again, I'm also thinking about the tone and the language, the words, choice of words when we are resolving these conflicts. And the reason I'm saying this is because at times in our bid, to resolve whatever was, the problem and the issue, I now then again use a totally different tone and my choice of words that actually escalate.
Unasimama unagonga meza.
And the words that I'm also hurling and saying and all, that now even, yes, we will resolve whatever was the issue. But then again, I have brought up another thing. I used harsh words, harsh, very harsh tones towards my partner. And so that again
creates a bigger problem.
Creates now even a bigger problem.
We solve that first.
We solve again.
The insult.
So how do we guard our hearts, guard our mouths, in as far as resolving all these issues in a lovely way, in a caring manner?
Right. So the way to resolve issues, I want to quote Rick Warren.
Yes.
In this situation, says that the first thing that you must do in resolving all those issues that are coming up, whether you wanted to hide them or not, is first of all recognizing that there's a problem.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you recognize there's a problem, you then move to the next step of asking yourself, God, what kind of wisdom do I need to resolve this matter?
Yes.
Right? So recognizing there's an issue. Secondly, asking God for wisdom. So when you recognize an issue, then you take the first step.
Yes.
Okay? Don't wait for things to come up. Don't wait for her to be the one to pray, to raise the issues. Be the one to see those things and to step out first. So take the initiative, number one. Number two, ask God for wisdom. Right? When you ask God for wisdom, and I want to believe that every man needs God. Okay?
Yes.
Whether you're born again or not born again, you need God.
Yes.
Yeah? And because you need God, God then can give you that wisdom. Then thirdly, you need to come out very quickly and see your responsibility in the problem. Okay? So confront yourself and say, what have I done? How have I contributed to this situation? In fact, not just internally to yourself as an internal reflection, but to her. Okay? To say, I recognize that I may have made you feel this way. I recognize that I have done this. All right? So by owning up that way, you actually have diffused the tension that would have been there. The fourth thing is that you listen to her emotions. Right? Not just the words. Listen to her emotions. Listen to her pain. Listen to the challenges that she's going through. Because now at that point, what you are doing is you are recognizing her humanity. And her personality and her humanness. Okay? You're recognizing that. And that's what people need. Every human being wants to be recognized and understood that they have been listened to and appreciated. Now, when you have done that, then you move to the next step of pointing out the issue lovingly. Whatever issue that was bringing the challenge. Now you're bringing out lovingly. Now, that's where now the issue of the how comes in, right? So you are using gentle words. The attitude in you is gentle. Your heart is clean. You're not manipulating. It's the depth inside you that is clean, that you're saying, this is the real issue. And you recognize the issue, and now you are bringing it out lovingly. And lovingly does not mean you're just saying it in a low tone. No. You're actually recognizing that if we do this matter this way, if we handle this matter in this way, it is likely to lead us into this situation. So as you're bringing out that issue, even if it's a mistake that she had made, then she'll recognize, first of all, that this person has respected me all along to this point. So I cannot be, again, the one not to honor this person. Now, after you have done that, then you move to the next stage of attacking the issue. Attacking the issue.
It's the couple versus the
issue. Not her against you or you against her. So what the illustration you're giving is now where the man sees the lady as the problem. Okay?
Yeah.
And the problem is not the lady.
No.
The problem is something else.
In between them now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the one is fighting from the other side, another from this side.
Yeah.
So the idea is to move together into one direction and say, we need to score into this goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So it is not that...
teammates.
We're teammates.
Yeah.
Basically, we are heading in the same
Yeah.
direction.
Yes.
So we are attacking the issue. We are not attacking each other.
Yeah.
Because now when you attack that issue, you understand what is the source of the issue. What caused it? How has it manifested?
Yes.
How can we resolve it? How can we move in a certain direction that can help us? What do you think?
Yes.
This is how I think. What do you think? This is how I think. And then eventually, having tackled the problem, then you now move to the stage of bringing reconciliation. Okay?
Yeah.
Bring reconciliation. And what reconciliation simply means is you are going back to operating as one. Our goal as Christian men in our families is to create oneness. Okay? Being one, because that's what God dictated for you.
Yeah, yeah,
right? That you be one.
Yeah.
One flesh. So that oneness then is what you are restoring, and you're restoring friendship, and you're restoring the love for each other. So when you use those 7 steps, I think you'll be in a very good step so that you do not end up in that sort of challenge.
Yeah.
Great. You know, you're talking about that. Wanasema kama bado even in the conflict unaitwa babe. Yeah, there's hope.
There's hope.
Lakini watu baanza kuitwa jina. Something you've never had. There is a problem.
Yeah.
And you've talked about now coming to a place of restoring the oneness. And I'm just thinking about conflicts that keep recurring. Maybe something happened, the matter was addressed, the couple talked.
Yeah.
But in the future, somebody brings up the same issue again, yet it was handled, and maybe all of you understood it was exhaustively handled. So what would happen in such a situation? How should a man or a woman handle such a situation? Because I know it's a problem in many marriages.
All right. So what you did, you managed the problem. You did not resolve the problem.
So it's just managing.
You managed the problem and you thought that the issue is gone. Actually, you need to move to the third step, which is called transforming the issue.
Okay.
Right? Transforming the issue is where you are looking at the matter that is apparent to the eye, but you choose to go deeper, to ask yourself, what caused it?
Yes.
What caused this to become an issue? Then you go deeper to ask, what was the source of this issue that is now the subterranean, we call it subterranean issue. So is it something in the background of my background? Is it in my understanding? So that you're going to the depth of that issue and then trying to address it from the foundation.
Yes.
So that by the time that you are now discussing these issues here, you've actually ensured that it will not recur because umetoa magugu.
Yes.
From the root.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When you've removed the root, that thing is not going to grow again. But if you have just slashed hapa juu ameweka spray inaitwa sarasha or something like that, you have simply just managed the surface.
So at the center of water, it will sprout again. And you're at it again.
Yeah. So what then I would advise any brother, any sister, is to take time to exhaustively deal with the matter by going down to the root, not to deal with the issues that are visible, but really going to the foundation of where did it come from. What made it come from that end? What are the weaknesses that were here? Or what are the inherent factors that created this issue? Does it come from my background? Does it come from my understanding of things? Does it come from the status of our finances? So going to what then is my understanding? So if you go to the root cause and approach from there, then you can be able, either as a man or a woman or as a couple, be able to deal with that matter exhaustively.
That is
amazing. So that you do not keep repeating dealing with it. Because as you keep slashing it, as you keep slashing it and it keeps growing, that's why you're saying you keep doing it. You keep doing it because you've not gone to the foundational issues that cause that matter.
And thank you so very much. So many messages coming in. Thank you. So many people also tuning in to today's episode. Shout outs to everyone. Lucy Mutua, Arthur Kuruga, Lona Lihemo is also tuned in. Jackson Omondi, Alice Alicia, Fenwick Ateka, Tengeya Richard in Nakuru, Anne also listening and learning. Thank you so very much. Stevie Rongo also thank you so very much even for the questions. Esther Mbele, blessings more to our leader, James. Thank you, Esther. And also someone who is tuned in from Nakuru. A very sad message she writes in. We have been having conflict with my husband. He stayed, listen to this, 5 months without talking to me. And one day he left home to a place I don't know till today. 5 months without talking, and then one day
Disappears.
he just disappears. The issue of underlying issues that if they are not addressed, they can escalate to other things,
Yes.
and even to heights that at times we cannot even be able now
to
control and all. How do we help? Let's talk to this man, and they feel disrespected. You know, how should they handle the same in a healthy way that also protects their spouse, protects themselves, and they protect the marriage?
Yeah, I think my heart goes out to the lady that has shared that. We pray that God will touch you and encourage you and strengthen you. But we also pray that wherever our brother is, that God will reach him and talk to him. And we are. It's our hope and prayer that he's alive and probably just hibernating somewhere. And if this message was to reach him where he's hibernating, we would say, please come out. Please come out.
God's
In fact,
conviction.
come out. May God convict you to come out and go to a Christian church in the neighborhood and just speak to the pastor and say, I have this problem. It went this way. This is the challenge that we went through. Please help me to be restored back to my family and to my wife. Swinging on then to that issue that you're raising, George, is how do we help this man to ensure that the matters are resolved in such a way that they do not escalate to that point? I think that's really what I was saying earlier, that you need to recognize that there is help.
Yes.
Always there is help. Always there is help. Always. And there's help everywhere. Only that you need to recognize that that help is available and you can go for it.
Yes.
First place of help is within you. Is within you as a couple. God has given you the internal capacity to resolve any problem. But perchance that your own capacity does not allow you to have a conversation, you probably have a couple that you respect, that you can be able to talk to and say, we have this as a problem. Okay? So seek help from that sort of couple. It could even be a random couple that you do not know. And I want to give an example that sometimes really humbles me. When I was about 24 years, I just moved into some place where I lived in a place called Udhiru. Our landlord and his wife had a problem. And when they had a problem, the lady ran from the house and came to hibernate in our house. Right? She was from outside the country. So she came to hibernate in our house. And so when she came to hibernate in our house, the husband was looking for her everywhere. But I went and said, no, she is with us in our house. I was living with my younger sisters at that point in time. Then I was not married. I was simply straight out of college. But God gave me an opportunity to speak with this man. He actually put me in his car and we drove to some place along the highway. And we sat down, and a 24-year-old advising him.
Not married.
Not married. But this man is a mature man. Probably at that point in time, I would have said he was about 55. Right? And he was having this sort of challenge. But just the conversation that we had reduced the tension. Okay? So there is help. There is help even in the least unlikely quarters. The least likely quarters have got a solution. So get somebody to talk to. Should it then move to the next level, then I think then now involve relatives. Involve relatives. If it needs to escalate to that level. But to disappear from their family setting, I think that's a bit drastic. Two, to have been quiet for 5 months, you allowed probably too much. We probably should not have allowed even 2 weeks to go. Okay? And so my encouragement to my brothers and my sisters out here is, whenever a matter comes out, seek out to speak to the person. Seek out. And then if that person is speaking, get somebody they respect and share that matter with them. But first of all, the internal capacity to solve issues are within you. And then there is now seeking help. Now, if and sometimes I try to say, don't rush to relatives. Actually come to a counselor.
Yes.
Go to a counselor, a therapist to talk to you. Because they are not emotionally involved because of the blood, the relationship.
Yes.
So this counselor will probably get to tell you that let's try out this, let's pray about this in this matter. So they are the Christian professional therapists who can be able to help, and they are available in church. And for example, if somebody is in Nairobi, they can come to Sitam Valley Road and they'll get that kind of help.
True.
Now, if you are far, you can also get to have support from a church ministering in your environment. But also there's professionals not related to any church or any ministry. Those are all over the country at this point in time. And my prayer is that you would be able to utilize those things to resolve these issues. Why is it important to do that? Because if you do not resolve that matter, it is not only going to affect you as a person, it's affecting your spouse, it's affecting your children, it's affecting your relatives. Now, that man not being somewhere, we do not know how it's affecting even the relatives. And probably he's even suffering somewhere, and he needs help. You know, he needs help. So may the Lord help him wherever he is, or any man who feels like he's quitting to seek help. Men, let us seek help. Let us not run away from the situation.
It's not weakness.
It's not weakness to seek help. It's actually a strength. It's a strength when you can be able to tell another man, my brother, I'm struggling in this area.
Because when such things escalate, we are having so many cases of separation. We were discussing something before we started the show of the statistic that was released, was it earlier this week?
This week,
540 divorces filed in the courts, Milimani courts in Nairobi.
That's one court.
That's one court.
Between January
and April. 540. And you see, they start small, but then again, things escalate, and now separation, and then they have filed for divorces.
They didn't wake up to divorce.
No,
it was something that began subtly.
And they didn't intend to divorce.
They did not intend.
They did not
to
want the divorce. But probably it's just the way that things were managed along the way for it to reach there. For some, it takes a month for things to reach there. But for some, it takes 4 years. There is even something that is now emerging that is called post-retirement divorce. Somebody has reached 60 years. They are realizing now the children are away and have moved out of the home. They're remaining. The man and his wife, they are not busy at work, and they start realizing the differences.
And they wonder, who's this?
Who is this?
This stranger. And somebody files divorce and says, I don't know you.
May we seek help.
Like so let's seek help.
Let us seek help. We need to call it an evening.
Really?
This time, man.
We need some more time.
We need some more time. Producer,
day.
can you hear this one? So thank you so much, Mr. Ogolla, for your time. Maybe your parting shots, even as we call it an evening.
Maybe how people can connect.
Also, how exactly?
I'm an easy person to find. I'm in this city of Nairobi.
It's a big city.
I have a phone number.
Yes.
If somebody would like to have that is fine.
All right.
0722381954. That can be shared easily, not a problem. But my parting shot is really the fear of God.
The fear of God.
The fear of God. The fear of God for me is the parting shot for me, because when we have the fear of God, there are certain things that we will not do. Or there are certain things that we will not do in a certain way. We will bring them under the lordship of Jesus Christ. And so what I'm appealing for myself and for my brothers and my sisters, fear God and then obey God. Because God has got very clear instructions for us on how to deal with these issues. So if we follow the teachings of God, then we can be able to resolve these issues. Secondly, marriage is like a child. Raise your marriage. Invest in your marriage. Grow your marriage. Defend your marriage. Fight for your marriage. Okay? It's like a child you are raising. When you came to and were joined as husband and wife, you started a new thing. That thing must be nurtured. That thing must be grown. That thing must be fed. And if you hear about a seminar happening somewhere, please attend. If you see a book somewhere about marriage, read. If you hear people talking about a conversation such as this one, listen. Okay? Because it is what you invest in that gives you strength. It gives you a foundation. It gives you a strength to be able to move forward. And you did not know everything about marriage. You do not know everything about marriage. We do not know everything about marriage. We need to know more about marriage. So let us invest in learning about marriage and strengthen our marriages as an investment.
Right.
Thank you.
And thank you so much to everyone tuned in. Joski Shams, say hi to Mwalimu. Alex Mwaz also tuned in from 027. Sometimes single people have wisdom. That is Joski. Thank you so very much as well, alluding to how you were able to speak to that gentleman who was older than you. Yeah. So thank you so very much, James Ogolla, for your time this evening, even for your wisdom in as far as today's topic, resolving conflict in marriages is concerned. And definitely, I know this is not the last. This is just but the beginning of this. We need to hear this
to normalize
often.
this conversation.
Yes, we need to have. And I like what also you said in our pulpits. This should be the message, because even in churches, actually in churches, a lot is happening. A lot of conflicts in marriages that are in churches. So we need to have these conversations in those on those pulpits as well. So thank you, gentlemen.
Asante sana.
George,
Thank you for having me.
I'm taking one lesson tonight.
Yes.
The real issue is not whether couples fight.
No.
But how they fight.
How they fight.
How they fight. Very important.
For me, the take home is that actually conflict is good for my marriage.
Yeah.
It will help my marriage to go to
An opportunity for
an
growth.
opportunity to grow.
If managed well.
If managed well.
Yes.
So I should see it in as far as and wear the right lenses.
Yes.
So that I can be able to manage that conflict well. If I do that, growth.
Particularly if you go to the subterranean issues and solve them from there, then it transforms your marriage.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so very
Asante
much,
sana.
even for your time also this evening. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Tomorrow we have a repeat of the same 6 p.m., same time, same place. But of course, you can share the link with so many couples out there who need to hear this. Whether their marriages are okay, let them hear this, especially when everything is cool, because they will be able to pick lessons for when that conflict arises. From us here, it is to wish you a good night. I've been your host. My name is George Kishoro.
They call me Favored Frank. Great night.